Hi everybody, Kaiser Vision here, and hopefully you guys are here to learn about MySQLi databases and how to connect to them, because that's what we're doing in this tutorial. So let's get right to it. This is our phpMyAdmin. So we're going to go ahead, and if you don't know where it is, you go to your WAMP server, if you have a local server, and you click phpMyAdmin, it'll pull you up right here, you'll be good to go. So we'll just type in mysqli_tut, click create database, and let's just enter in two fields, call it members. We're not doing a member video. Let's just ID, alright, user. And just for tutorial purposes, just so we have something so we don't get any errors. I'm not sure. We'll just find out along the way. So, anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our notepad and we're going to save a new file. We'll call it connect.php. Alright, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to go php open and close our php tags. We're going to comment out and say connection variables to our MySQLi database. Now, I will explain along the way why we're doing MySQLi, and we're not using MySQL anymore. That is because MySQL Connect and MySQL functions to target queries, to target things in your database, things like that. It's all been deprecated, meaning it will not work. not the way you want it to. So, okay, and it's pretty much the same thing, but just to give you guys an update, so we're all on the same page. It's more secure. It'll save you in the long run. All right, so go ahead and make everything MySQLi from here on out, unless this gets deprecated, which I don't see it happening for any time soon, because MySQL was around for a while. So, anyways, we're going to enter our DB host, and that is localhost. Our DB user is going to be root, and our DB pass is equal to nothing because we haven't set a password yet. And we will make our DB error1 equal could not connect to our database. And our DB error2, like always, will say could not find selected table. Alright, now we will comment another piece of code, another line out, and we will say connection to the database. Now, this is where it gets very important. This variable connect, or con, whatever you want to name it, is very important because anytime you run a query to the database to pull information or retrieve or add information, anything like that, you're going to need to include this connect function. And the reason why is because every time MySQLi runs a query, it opens the database up and then it closes the database for security purposes, making your site more secure. So, it's a good thing, but I will show you how. So, we will, and we're not going to do it in this section, but when we try to find this, you'll understand. So, we'll say MySQLi underscore connect, open up our parentheses, DB host, comma, DB user, comma, and DB pass. Close off your parentheses and then write or die, parenthesis open, DB error1. Now, if this was correct, we can go ahead and say if con is equal to true, echo, we're in. Else, you fail. Now we'll save that, go to our index page, go to connect, and boom, we're in, just like that. Okay, so that means we are successfully connected to our database. Now we're going to comment some more code, and we're going to say select which database table we wish to connect to. Now we're going to make another variable that says select underscore DB. Once again, it can be named anything you want. Now this is where this connection variable becomes handy because we'll explain. So you say select d underscore db equals mysqli select db, open parentheses. Now we're going to say connect, comma, then mysqli tut, mysqli underscore tut, or die db error 2. Now, this is where it gets important. Like I said, this whole line becomes very important to all of your scripts. So what you would do normally is you would include your connect file, like always, maybe put it in like a main header script or something like that. So you just have to include the header and it gets all your details, the connection script, login script, anything you want. Anyways, enough of that. What we will explain is that you don't want to write all of this out. Could you imagine? Let me just copy this. Could you imagine writing all of that out every single time you want to run a query or connect to your database? I don't think so. So, putting it in a variable makes it so much easier. You just write con or connection or whatever you want to put, and now you're connected. So, let's go ahead and input some dummy data into our members. So we'll put insert, and we'll just say users, and we'll just put, let's see, Brandon. Simple as that. And we'll hit go. Alright. Now, I mean, that's how you connect to your MySQLi database. It's really not much different. Like I said, the only difference here is this. This right here is the only difference. That's what MySQL Connect used to be. Now, we're all fancy and got to have the MySQLi and just the connection in front of any query. So if you were to run a query these days, you're going to say MySQLi query, all right, equals, well, let's see here. Now, yeah, we'll just say query equals MySQLi query, and we'll go con, and then select all from members. You see what I'm saying? Select all from members, and let's just do that. For tutorial purposes, that's all we need to do. Alright? As simple as that. So then we say MySQLi num rows query. I can put this in this too. We'll just say num rows equals, I say echo num rows. Okay. Now we have 1. Alright, so see, we're working here. We're connected. Alright, so for example, we only have 1 user. Okay? So if we wanted to, we can go ahead. Let's comment out this code though. Check how many rows are returned from the database. Run a standard query to select all members from our database. Alright, so now we know that there's 1 row. Alright, so then we can go ahead and say if num rows doesn't equal 0. Alright, else echo out no users exist in this database. Now right here we would execute some code, but let's comment this out. We're going to say if statement to pull out user data. So if the number of rows doesn't equal 0, we're going to go right ahead into this database and we're going to say, and we're going to run a while loop. We're going to say while MySQLi fetch associative array query. All right. So we're going to say while MySQLi fetch associative array and run this query. So enter our connection, select all from members. We're going to say, let's see here, echo. Is it user or users? Users. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. Fetch equals MySQLi fetch associative array. So we're going to say echo fetch users. All right. This will determine if, let's see, parser on line 24. My bad. Forgot that. Boom, Brannon, just like that. But you see, you gotta remember all these things here. All right. We opened 2, so we had to close 2. I forgot about it. My bad. All right. So now, if there isn't any users in this database, it'll come up and say no users exist in this database. So what we can do, as you see, we have gotten this right here. If we go ahead and we delete him, right? He's gone. And we refresh, no users exist in this database. All right, so this was just a quick little tutorial to explain how MySQLi works and how it's not that much different, to pull data in and out of a database and things like that. I mean, this is like as standard as it can get, but you can get the point from it. So, all right, and that's all I could really do for you. And hopefully, you guys can like and subscribe to this video. Hopefully, more tutorials in the future. Thank you very much.